All right, soccer freaks. This is ATL on Fire, the podcast. We're going to be talking all things Atlanta United Football Club. So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy. So thank you for bringing this. And
This is our first vintage. Second vintage is on the way, and really, you're not supposed to really make grapes from the first couple of vintages. First couple of harvests of your grapes. So we should be going upwards from here.
I hope that we will make the MLS Cup playoffs, but I have some reasonable concern that we won't this season. But I have a lot of expectations.
You mean the MLS Cup final?
The MLS Cup final, yeah. So hopefully, we'll crack one of these open, maybe heading towards the Mercedes-Benz for a final. If we can do that this year and open another one of these, I'm all about that too.
But if we were to get to a final, it wouldn't be at the Benz, right? I mean, you would have to have a better record than whoever was coming through on the other side, which could be, but it would have to be a big upset on the other side.
It'd be a bit of a fluke, right? In the finals, you're right. So that's I guess where we can start things off, Dave. Is the fact that we got the job done going to Cincinnati. We did our part on what we were supposed to do in that game with the win, but knowing that we played for the tie against Toronto, and now we find ourselves in the situation where we don't have any home playoff games. What is your overall feeling about the excitement of we're in the playoffs, but also that we're not at the Mercedes-Benz for any of the playoff games?
Yeah, I mean, disappointment. This glass half full, glass half empty kind of an argument, and that if you look
half empty,
if you look at where we were when we were fired, Hines, you had to say that we were in deep trouble, and we talked about it. I said that it was recoverable. I think you were a little more pessimistic than I was that it was recoverable.
Yeah, I was.
We had to go through the numbers a little bit. So getting in the playoffs from there, you'd have to say, fantastic. Well, job well done. And you look at our point total, I think it was second best in the East over the time period since Pineda took over. So that makes us legit contenders. That being said, are we fully, doing as well as our talent, would allow? I think you and I are definitely not yet convinced. And even if you say all of that, going into the last, week or two of the season, any one of those points that we dropped in a really silly fashion would have done it.
Yeah. And I applaud Pineda for coming in, stabilizing the ship and carrying on the positive culture that Rob Valentino did through the interim process. But again, as we've said, we don't see I don't see the way that the team is structured and the way we're playing kind of as a team. I think there's a lot of really good individual skill out there that is allowing us to even come back in the game that we saw the other night.
There was some skill on display, Mikey Dobbs.
There was some skill.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, I mean, even the winning goal is not something.
So just to get to your rep, and on our chances of having any playoff game at home, it would have to be Minnesota, Vancouver, or Real Salt Lake in 5th, 6th, or 7th getting through on the western side for us to host. So not likely.
So let me see if I can pull up, Dave,
All right, an ATL on Fire first. We discussed Decision Day. We might have even made some predictions, Mikey Dobbs.
Yeah, we were talking about the the Philadelphia NYFC game, and you were asking me who you thought would win that game. So let's just do a quick rewind to last Wednesday.
Let's end by previewing going forward. We got Cincinnati on Decision Day. So, so first of all, what's your prediction for us against Cincinnati, the worst team in the league on the road? Can we get it done?
The only thing that I can picture is more of the same. Like I am so I've gone into so many of these games, the last 5 games, being optimistic. Like there was one game that I thought I think it was the NYFC game. I was like, we're going to torch them.
Yeah, just and then Toronto too, for sure.
I was like, I had this feeling. I was like, we're going to torch them. And at some point, you just have to say,
well, we've been close to clicking. Like there have been moments where it's been free flowing and it looks like we're going to score 3, 4, 5 goals.
You know what they call that? It's only close only matters with what horseshoes and hand grenades, right? So, yeah. So that was me talking about the upcoming Cincinnati game, which we just played last night.
Right.
And then I think it was for the most part. I do feel like that was correct. It was a little more of the same. We did correct. We'll get to this later on the podcast on how we corrected at halftime.
Yeah, well, if you play it a little bit further, you'll see my counterpoint.
Oh, okay. Let's keep playing it then. Sorry. We're gonna jump into your counterpoint here. All right. I feel like we're playing that game right now.
All right. So, what's your prediction?
I think my prediction
failed to get it done.
I honestly think it's going to be a tie game. Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw.
Wow. A draw would be pretty
disappointing, right? Like I am expecting disappointment at this point.
I mean, Cincinnati's in last place. They have absolutely nothing to play for. They don't even have a full-time coach, I don't think. Yeah. So it's not even like they're playing for their coach's future.
So what I hope is that I am wrong, right? But if I am wrong, do you know what I would expect is that we trounce them, right?
Yeah.
So my gut says we're going to tie. What I want to happen is we should beat them 5-0. All right. Well, that didn't happen. We came very.
And then I say
very close to the prediction of a tie. Sorry, did I cut off your counterpoint?
Yeah, I say I think you're gonna get it done right in the end. Play it.
All right, let's
Come
play.
on, let's go over the whole thing.
It's not true. It's not true. Okay.
Here we go. Come on.
Here we go.
Yeah, and I don't think that Pineda and the confidence of the team and the tactics are good enough where we can roll over them. I do think even despite all of that, we win, maybe 2-1 or something.
There you go, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Validation. All right. So now do you want to be right twice? Because we had another clip.
We don't need to be. I think that's enough. Right. The take home, just if you want to go back and listen, was that Mikey Dowd says Philadelphia is going to do it, and I said I think I see a draw.
Yeah, well, you were right. And not only did they pull off a draw, they did it a man down, right?
Yeah, remarkable. They lose a man in the first.
NYFC got the draw with a man down.
Yeah. And it goes to say what I said previously, which is they had everything to play for, and they were gonna find a way. Even a man down, they were attacking, and did eventually get it done.